Denial of service attack, or DOS, overwhelm a system's resources so that it cannot respond to a service request. A DDoS attack is also an attack on a system resources, but it is launched from a large number of other host machines that are infected by a malicious software controlled by an attacker. There are different types of DOS and DDoS attacks. The most common ones are TCP SYN flood attack, teardrop attack, Smurf attack, Bing of Death attack, and botnets. A man in the middle occurs when a hacker inserts itself between the communications of a client and server. Here are some common types of the man in the middle attacks: session hijacking, IP spoofing, and the replay attack. Phishing attack is the practice of sending emails that appear to be from trusted sources with the goal of gaining personal information or influencing users to do something. It combines social engineering and technical trickery. On the other hand, the spear phishing is a very targeted type of phishing activity. Attackers take the time to conduct research into targets and create messages that are personal and relevant. Now, because of this, spear phishing can be very hard to identify and even harder to defend against. Now, because passwords are the most commonly used mechanism to authenticate users to an information system, obtaining password is a common and effective attack approach. So there are two approaches here. There is the brute force and the dictionary attack. Now, the brute force, the password guessing, means using a random approach by trying different passwords and hoping that one works some logic by trying passwords related to the person name, job title, hobbies, or similar items. In dictionary attack, a dictionary of common passwords is used to attempt to gain access to a user, computer, and network. SQL injection has become a common issue with database-driven websites. It occurs when manufacturers execute a SQL query to the database via the input data from the client to server. Now here are some examples. Select star from user where account equal something, whatever. XSS attacks use third-party web resources to run scripts in the victim's web browser or scriptable application. Now you can see in this image. Now here, the attacker discovers a website for having a script injection vulnerabilities. Then the attacker injects a payload in the website database with malicious JavaScript that steals cookies. Now here, the websites transmit the victim's browser the page with the attacker's payload. The victim's browser executes the malicious script. Now, in the website visitor, as you see, the visitor here, after script execution, victim sends his cookie to the attacker. Now, finally, the attacker extracts victim cookies, after which he uses it for session hijacking. Now, there are different types for XSS, but we will not handle it here in this course. You can read about them. Malware or malicious software. Malicious software can be described as unwanted software that is installed in your system without your consent. It can attach itself to a legitimate code and propagate. It can lurk in useful application and replicate itself across the internet. And here are some of the most common macroviruses. These are viruses that infect applications such as Microsoft Word or Excel. File infectors. File infector viruses usually attach themselves to executable code such as .exe files. System or boot record infectors. A boot record virus attached to the master boot record on hard disks when the system is started. Polymorphic viruses. These viruses conceal themselves through varying cycles of encryption and decryption. Stealth viruses. Stealth viruses take over the system functions to conceal themselves. Trojan horses. Trojan horse is a program that hides in a useful program and usually has a malicious function. Logic bombs. Logic bomb is a type of malicious software that is appended to an application and is triggered by a specific occurrence. Worms. Worms differ from viruses in that they do not attach to a host file, but are self-contained programs that propagate across internet and computers. Droppers. A dropper is a program used to install viruses on computers in many instances. Ransomware. Ransomware is a type of malware that blocks access to the victim's data and threatens to publish or delete it unless a ransom is paid. Adware. Adware is a software application used by companies for marketing purposes. Spyware. Spyware is a type of program that is installed to collect information about users, their computers, and their browsing habits.